was on comparing EU, European, and US regulations in the money transfer and remittance space. So many companies these days are international, or they want to be. Of course, over the internet, you can be anywhere. So we want to talk about both what's going on in Europe and what's going on in the US, and how those sort of two worlds are colliding. So an example would be that there's PSD2 in Europe. This is the Open Banking Initiative. And we don't have an equivalent here in the US, but we think that that's the direction the world is moving. So it's important that European companies understand that we don't have that in the US, and so maybe their business model there doesn't work here. But of course, also if you're a US company, you need to understand that maybe open banking is coming. That's going to be the trend, and so you want to get ahead of that and maybe initiate some open banking here, even if it's not required yet. We really need to be talking about it in this space. We're dealing with people's most confidential information when we're talking about financial information. And so again, Europe is really ahead of the curve with GDPR. That includes things like the right to be forgotten, and that's really important, and we don't have anything like that in the US. And so I think it's going to be a really big challenge, both companies complying with that in Europe and then how US companies deal with that, because it's going to happen here too. Our panel this morning was all women, and that's terrific to see. I think that we need more women in the industry. Of course, in so many countries, women are the ones who control the budget. Women are the ones who run the household, and that means they're the ones holding the money. And oftentimes women too, we don't think of it, but of course women are the primary breadwinners. And so it's the women who are sending money home. It's the women who are deciding how to spend the money they have. And so I think it's great when we can get women to give their perspective, because oftentimes they're more intimately connected with family money than we think. And so I always like when we can have a female panel and get female perspectives.